Welcome to The Other Side of the Bridge with Iron City Paranormal, where they discuss real investigations, first-hand experiences, unexplained moments, and everything that happens when you step off the regular path and onto the other side of the bridge. Just honest paranormal talk, Iron City Paranormal style. And now, here are your hosts, Derek Smith and Dan Metelsky.
Welcome back, Yins guys, to episode 16 of The Other Side of the Bridge. Everybody, I smelled something funny outside my front door just before we started to record, and I opened it and I saw Derek, and I said, Derek, welcome back to the show.
I thought you were going to say thank you.
No.
It's been too long.
We have been missing you. We have been sending you our love from a distance. I'm glad all of that stuff worked. You are now back on the side of the bridge that we are on. So
I'm across the bridge
brother.
Again. Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
So for those that have not been listening, we have been without Derek the last few weeks. And this week for the episode, we want to have a little kumbaya moment and hold hands. And
are you singing?
I will not. I would like more people to listen, not fewer people to listen.
We will see.
But one of the things that we've talked about many times in the past, and one thing we want to focus on this episode is what makes a team and why are teams important when it comes to paranormal investigations. And we thought, what a better time to do it than when the chosen brother has returned.
Prodigal son, right? Yeah.
The prodigal son has returned.
I mean, I don't know about all that, but glad to be back regardless.
All right, I think we're boring the heck out of people just mushing over the fact that Derek is back.
I don't bore people. What are you talking about?
I agree with that. I agree with that. In fact, the more fun we have during investigations, the more the ghosts want to talk to us. So
that's exactly
I'm all
right.
about this.
That's the truth. I mean, we're just us. We're hanging out with some dead people. That's all.
Well, that's the truth, and I think that's what makes us the most effective we can be, right? Because it's like all the way back to the way we started. It was very non-formal.
Absolutely.
Right. We started with your bachelor party. We just had fun with it, and then when you joined us, we just had fun with it. And it was just like old friends getting back together, and it wasn't so damn serious.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just, I think that really is. I think it's maybe
it absolutely helps. What
makes a difference with our investigations. Yeah. And we've had people, I'm not knocking anybody that has joined us, for extended period of time, but that was the difference maker, right? Like people just took it too seriously and it kind of threw off our vibe.
Well, there's a fine line there too, either too serious or not serious enough. Like we're kind of right in the middle, and
truth.
We all kind of see it the same way, I think.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said too for like the vibe staying or being in a way that's cohesive, right? Like we've had other people join or people that are watching an investigation join, and like the vibe can really disrupt the way that we work together for sure.
Absolutely.
But I think whenever like the three of us are on a roll and we're focused and like we're vibing and like we're, moving together and like working together, like that's when we do the best work,
Yeah. And I think it just comes naturally, right? I mean, we've kind of been on both sides of it, and we've had to split up on occasions. We've had to do whatever we have to do. But, when the three of us are together, especially in a smaller setting, I think is when we kind of really take off with just each of us feeding off of each other. That always seems to be the best bet, is when the three of us are just kind of like naturally involved in it.
Yeah. And like, this is not something that like just happened one day, right? Like we've kind of touched on this a little bit throughout this podcast, but like we have all known each other outside of the paranormal stuff for years.
Yeah.
Literally, Derek was my first friend, right? Like we have a little 4-year-old picture of him down in our basement. You know what I mean? Like we live next to each other. He was my best little friend growing up. We all went to school together. Like we've known each other for years. So it's not something that like one day we met and like we just instantly had this connection. We just like it's been something that's developed from us being connected for so long.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and obviously Derek and I have been doing it for 10 years, and Aaron, I can say whenever you joined us, it was very much a natural fit.
Yep. No questions asked there. Absolutely.
We did not have to discuss an approach. We did not have to discuss like, hey, this is how we do things. What do you want to do? We kind of just went into it and it just jived.
I think the most conversation we ever had to have is how some of the tools work. I mean, that's honestly, like that's the only thing that we've ever had to really, really talk about or discuss because you aren't used to them. But outside of that, I mean, it was just natural. Picked it up and just jumped right into it, and it worked.
Yeah, agreed.
But it was very much a trial by fire, even with the equipment, because we weren't like, this is a REM pod. You put it in the room, and then it gets something near it, and it lights up. Like, we were just like, yeah, Aaron, we're going to throw this thing over there.
And watch and see what happens.
Yeah, if it makes noise, talk to it, right?
Exactly.
It was very nonchalant.
That's how we learned. I mean,
yeah. I don't know how many times
we started
somewhere that I'd be like, what the heck is this thing, and what does it do? Like, explain this thing to me because I don't understand.
We're still figuring that out. I've never been exposed
to it before, right? Like, you guys have been deep in the investigation world, and you know how all of the tools work. And I literally just like.
Do we though? Aaron, I don't think you're hyping us up too much because I will tell you.
You like it, so fake it till you make it and all that.
There are pieces of our equipment that I have no freaking idea how it works, but I'll tell you when it works. It's cool as heck.
I know.
I love it when we're explaining it to somebody and we're just like, yeah, this is how this works. This is what happened with this piece of equipment before. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
that's right. Exactly. We know that there's batteries in this thing and it lights up and it makes a noise and that is it.
Well, there we go. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's enough, right? And I honestly do. I'm not just saying that because we do it. Like, I think that is more than enough because it's like, I was talking. This is going to be weird. This is not a good story for a paranormal podcast. But I was talking to my chiropractor yesterday, and he was talking about like playing golf with his son, and it's way too serious when they go golfing because he's really good at golf. And it's like if we were really serious about investigating, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
It wouldn't.
Right.
And when that goes away, I think we all just lose interest and we don't do it anymore. But that's what's been keeping us around.
We've had those experiences before where we go into things and we're not getting anything and we get super serious and we get like, so invested in things and then nothing happens and we get pissed, right? Yeah. And then we're done. Like we shut down. So you can't, we've learned from that, and even talking about, Fairfield that's coming up next month. You and I did that by ourselves. That's a huge place. Like
it's monstrous.
And we got so frustrated because the place was huge. And it's like, where do you go? There's 2 people in this place. What do you do?
Yeah.
Something so simple like that. And you're right. It's the us being together, it makes all the difference. We've seen different combinations of people. There's times where Aaron, you're not there. There's times when Dan, you're not there. And I've seen it. We get other people involved and it's just not the same.
Right.
We can add people to our group, but whenever you take one of us away, it seems like it changes the entire atmosphere.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's not just because there's a lack of demons, right? Like when I'm not there. Like I tend to carry the flatulence of the group.
You bring the demons. That's true.
I do. And if that's what I bring to the table, you're welcome. Like if you want
I don't think I've ever properly thanked you for
I understand, and I wouldn't expect to thank you every time, but like a little bit of praise would be appreciated sometimes.
Every once in a while, good to know.
That's right. So, we're going to be talking about several different, aspects of, what make us a good team and strong and the whole 9 yards and what our roles are. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to we like each other. And I think at least I like you guys. I don't know. I can't speak for you guys like me, but I do. I just genuinely enjoy, being with you guys. And that that's a big overarching theme of tonight, right?
Oh, it makes things so much easier when it's like that. I mean, we've had to deal with people that we're not a big fan of, and I think everybody knows exactly where I'm going with that. But you do what you got to do.
So I can think of several instances, but yes.
But when it's the three of us, it's natural. I mean, I'm going to say that time and time again because it just happens. And you're right. Like we just like each other's company and the vibes and just like the auras that we all put off. So it's easy. It makes it so much better that way.
I think there's something to be said for sitting in a cold basement in the middle of January at 4:00 in the morning. And if you're around people you don't want to be around, that becomes impossible. Like it becomes miserable, right? Whereas if you're around people that you enjoy spending time with and you're connecting with and you're able to pull yourself out of that mental space where you're sitting in 30-degree weather on a cold basement floor and you're exhausted and you got a 2-hour drive ahead of you, like it just,
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the same with anything. You end up watching the clock at that point. Like, when am I done?
Yeah.
Rather than where can I take this? Where do we go next? How do we get more out of this? It's when are we wrapping up? It's very similar to that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree.
And when we started to investigate, like with all three of us, obviously when Derek and I first started, it was very much driven by social media, right? Like I don't even want to say social media, but we were just very much driven by catching it for the sake of showing someone else because it was two of us.
Right.
And
we did though do like a live social medias and we did all that kind of stuff. We tried. It took us out of it. I know that for a fact. It took us away from the experience and being there. Yeah. And again, that's a live and learn kind of thing. But you're right. We did start on that path when we realized that's not what it's about.
And it's besides that's not what it's about. It is so much work.
It is absolutely
to have like a really strong, and I'll tell you what, like I watch a lot of YouTube. That's usually my main form of entertainment that I digest every day. Like if I'm gonna watch something, I'd rather watch content creators of some sort. But it is a slug, right? I mean, it is just so much work.
Well, it adds so much to
followers.
Right.
Well, it adds to it, but it also takes away from it at the same time, right? Because if like when we were having those days where we were, trying to do lives and things weren't going well, it wasn't the focus wasn't on, the investigation. It was on how many viewers did we have on that live, and we would watch that number kind of like
how many people were commenting and what were they saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
And we just lost sight of things. But when we did that originally, like we each like kind of developed our own like role within the group. Because I know Derek, you were number one. You were the tech guy.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how it started.
You were the one always staring at screens.
Yep.
I was the one that was like actually going and talking and like leading, so to speak.
Yeah. At first, I didn't want to say anything, but at the same time, I think when I started, when we started this together, I was so far on the skeptic side of things that I wanted and needed to see something. And I think that's kind of how that translated. But eventually when things started to happen and there was no explanation for it or things made sense, I'm like, I want to be a part of this. I don't want to be on the outside looking in. I don't want to be staring at this screen. I mean, I remember you've said that on a few occasions when we were like in the moment, like, dude, you're just staring at this screen here. You're not actually being a part of these things. And that's when I think that I put the camera down. I'm like, if we don't catch it, we don't catch it. I want to be here. I want to be in this, right here, right now kind of moment. And, that's when we started doing the trail cams. And that's when we just started, putting the cameras out. And it's like, I'll look at it later. I'm not worried about it now. I want to be a part of this.
I think to that time, like back to those days every once in a while, like when we're setting up, remember when we had hundreds of feet of wire we would run to cameras?
It was horrible.
It was awful.
We thought we were so professional doing it, but man, we spent so much time setting that crap up, probably more than we actually investigated.
Well, I bet between the setup and teardown, like that was probably every bit of 3 hours.
I'm sure. I mean, the one that I remember is Martinsburg Roundhouse. and how far of a
Mhm.
distance we tried to take that, you know, through these big warehouse looking buildings. And like, I don't even know how we did it, honestly. I mean, it was just,
Yeah, I
it
have
was
no
nuts.
idea. We were idiots. But we got sucked into the hype,
We
right?
did.
We got sucked into that,
The TV show.
the online TV show kind of stuff. And then Aaron, when you came on, you obviously immediately took the role of our resident sensitive, which thank you, because we needed that severely.
Yeah.
So
Well,
is that,
and that also turned around and added to yours too, Dan. So it was like it was a nice combination there, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've always known. I mean, even early on, like I would kind of joke, like, Dan, you go, like, you sniff it out, you know. you be the dog here. Tell me what's the most haunted spot, you know. And obviously, it was kind of joking, but I knew that you had more ultimate guide you in that, and I, you know, it's worked wonders. And you know, it's guiding me on the way that some of these things are happening to me and the way that I'm feeling things. And how many times did you say it? I'm the one that doesn't feel anything, or, you know, spiritually stupid, as you.
I was going to say that is the official term that I coined for it, because you were for the longest time, and you're
not wrong.
That, right? And then
Aaron, that's why I never took offense to it. It's absolutely true.
I'm telling you keep saying that I came in as the resident sensitive, but when we're on an investigation, I constantly look to you guys to validate anything that I'm feeling. Like,
well, that's exactly how we work, though. You know what I mean? I mean,
that's it. And like, we talk about Derek being, you know, not as sensitive, but like he has
spiritually
like your own set of skills, right? Like the way that he can pick things out. There's a reason that we have him watching all the videos and doing the Estes method whenever we get there, because he can hear things that I would never. He can even replay something and say, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Don't hear a freaking thing. I never hear a freaking thing. Or like he'll be able to spot things that like I can't. I don't know how you guys do it. You know what I mean? But like
10 years of practice,
60% of the time,
like, there's also a sensitivity to that, right? Like, you know, we've talked about like you hearing different things, like whenever we're at an investigation and you start hearing like ringing in your ears or things like that. And we're starting to realize that that's whenever we need to start paying attention, because you're honing in on something we don't realize, you know, you're not realizing you're honing in on. But like, especially when we're doing the SD stuff, like I can put those earphones on and listen to the same thing that you are, and I'm going to get 3 words, whereas you're going to get entire conversations. It's just absolutely astonishing. But like when we're in an investigation and we're moving around, like, yeah, I'm the like sensitive-ish, but I also am not totally comfortable with the tools yet. And part of that too is like, I'm always looking to you guys. Like if I walk into a room and I feel something, the first thing I do is try to figure out where Dan is. And based on your body language and how you're moving around and how I know you physically react when you start feeling something, that validates for me what I'm feeling. So like if you walk into a room and you're acting like you're totally fine and you're not honing in on anything, that's whenever I'm starting to be a little bit more like, is this in my head? You know what I mean? Like, is this real? Or is this something like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. And
it does.
From, you know, bounce things off of each other. It's really cool to actually watch, you know, because like you're saying, Dan's body language or the way that he moves, or all of a sudden he turns and looks at something. And then you're like, wait a second, did you hear that? Or did you see that? Or, you know, this is what I'm thinking in my head. How, you know, some of the times where he's telling you how he feels, the way that these things bounce off of each other and the way that they fit together, you know, no coincidences, right? I mean, it's incredible sometimes just to see the way that you guys work together. And then the way that whenever I do the research behind things and you're starting to pull names out and it's like, wait a second, you know, this is history. This is written, documented history here. And you guys are just getting it out of thin air. And it's to me, it's incredible.
Well, and that's the dynamic that I, you know, will continue to support fully to the fullest extent, is that dynamic of, you know, what you know about, and like about certain locations, but like, don't tell us at first. Right. Like,
Yeah,
I
there's
love that about the way that we do things. Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to disclose things because there always is that fine line of influencing things, right? I mean, it's hard. It is hard not to on occasion, but
mhm.
when it happens organically and you sense it or hear it first,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. You know
Yeah.
I know you guys try to avoid the background, like the research and all the
Yeah.
history stuff that we end up pulling out, at least until afterwards or during an investigation. So I know that you don't have any of those names, you don't have any of those locations, those dates in your head.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it's phenomenal. You know, when we can piece all those things together in the moment.
I'm thinking I have a really good example of this that I want to share and have you guys input. Where was the place that we were at where the doll moved?
Ross House?
Yes. Yeah, it was a Ross house. Yep.
Yeah. So we were in one of the rooms at the Ross house, and all of us were in there together. And there was a particular area where I walked across the area. There was a boundary that was there that I felt a very significant energy shift. A few minutes later, Dan walked in that same area, and I remember saying to him afterwards, right at that boundary, he kind of stutter stepped and felt that energy shift as well. We connected on that to say, like, hey, what do you feel over there? Let's talk about that. And immediately, Derek says, do you guys want me to tell you or no? And he said, absolutely not. Like, let's hold on for a minute. And it wasn't until a couple minutes later we were like, okay, Derek, let us know. And that's when you said there's been reports of a portal that's right there, that there's significant energy that's happening in that area.
And if you remember too, I wasn't even trying to sense it, but I stopped at the same spot.
You did these
without even thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, to tie all those things together, and as soon as you did it, I'm like, oh my God, this is the spot. You're feeling it, you're sensing it.
I got so excited when you did that too, Derek, because so that same exact spot, I made Derek walk around in the same area. And the same exact spot where that boundary was, wow, you didn't necessarily feel an energy shift. When you were at that boundary, you thought there was something on the floor. And so you stopped to look down before you walked forward. There was still that boundary that was there. And it was so interesting to see all three of us in that exact same spot doing the exact same thing. It was so cool.
Yeah, and just sensing it differently, I guess. I mean, I don't know how to explain that one, but it was the exact same spot.
That's the intuition that we you know, we know that you have, we haven't been able to tap into it as much, but it's there. It's proof that it's there. You did the exact same thing that both Dan and I did at the exact same spot, just in a different way, you know? Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part when we investigate is not projecting ourselves and what we think about certain things onto each other and influencing them. You know, when you said it, Aaron, like when Derek says, oh, do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you? My number one thought is, yes, I want you to tell me, because I don't want there to be like something dangerous or something that I'm standing on top of or whatever. Like, oh, that's the place that people go whenever they get a butt ghost or something. Like, I don't want that. You know, like if I'm in the territory of like having something possess me, like, please let me know before I have to ask. Right.
I mean, I think that there is that, like, I mean, first off, you want to know because you're excited about it. You discovered something, right?
Yeah. But also terrified of that.
But at the same time, if there's something negative or, you know, I don't want to say evil because, you know, that's
evil.
That's kind of far out there, but
it's an aggressive male energy.
Speaking of people,
always an aggressive male energy. We get it.
But there have been times where like things are well known to be, you know, much more negative or you know, something that's going to actually harm or stay with us, and it's like we just avoid that spot. Like I'm like, let's just not go in that room because things about that, you know, like there's just certain things you just don't want to touch.
Yeah, and I honestly think, like, if I was going to press the button that blew up the bedroom that made the ghost in the first place, you guys would let me know, right? Like, because no matter what, at the end of the day, I trust you, right? I trust you guys to not only like not point me in the like the suck off point for the portal that's going to take me into the other dimension or whatever. It's not going to like teleport me into that area. right? I believe that you do that, but I also I trust you with my safety as well, just like I expect you to, right?
I think that's like an unwritten thing, unsaid thing. Like there's just a certain underlaying of trust there, and there has to be. I mean, how many times like you were talking about the Estes method? We've done it a few times where you don't hear the spirit box, so you literally have to take it at face value. Yeah. You know, the nice thing about doing it now is we can hear both sides of it and we can put it together. So there's also that backup there, but you have to trust the person in the moment. Otherwise you're just saying nonsense to this conversation and just completely pulling it out of your rear end.
Yeah.
Well, let's end on rear end. We got to go into an ad break. We're going to pick up right there.
I caught myself. Okay.
After a short break. Give us a minute and we'll talk about Derek's rear end.
Every ghost story and creature feature lies a far more terrifying truth. The real monsters wear human faces. In the chilling book, All Monsters Are Human, from Derek Smith, 10 Twisted Tales expose the darkest parts of a human soul. From killers hiding in plain sight to obsessions turned deadly. Each story invites you to step into a shadowed world where morality unravels, and the only thing more terrifying than what lurks in the dark is who. These aren't just horror stories. They're reflections of ourselves, showing what happens when fear, rage, guilt, and desire take control. Visit unxmedia.com for more information on All Monsters Are Human from Derek Smith. And you can purchase them at Amazon.com from unxmedia.com. The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unx Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to research a haunted house can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unxmedia.com or Amazon.com. That's unxmedia.com or Amazon.com. The truth, it's out there, and it's waiting for you. The Unexplained Network is your source for the best in paranormal programming, live video streaming, and audio streaming from hauntings, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, and the ever-expanding realm of the unexplained. Listen live or on demand now on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, and Pockets all over the World Wide Web. The Unexplained Network, where unexplained lives.
So roughly 3 minutes ago, we started to talk about your butt, Derek. You want to continue on that conversation?
I won't say no. Go for it.
No, I'm good. I think that's more than enough. So I am going to respectfully disagree with your willingness to continue to talk about that and change the subject, because I respect you as a teammate and as an individual.
Yeah, we don't want to know where that goes.
Do you believe that?
I have to, because I trust you.
There you go.
Thank you very much. And that's where we're picking up after we had that nice little ad break. We're going to start talking about trust within the team. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We're not going to be we're trusting each other to not let each other go into harm's way, but also that we have to just trust each other, that we, are just kind of have each other's backs, not from a safety perspective, but from like a communication standpoint. Mm-hmm. Right. And that is it's easier said than done, I think.
Absolutely. Especially in the moment.
Yeah. Correct. And especially when you have 1,000 things going through your head where 999 of them are self-preservation. Like, I'm in a
True.
scary place. I don't want to fall in a hole because it's dark. You know, I don't want to bring something home to my
I don't want to
family.
see a bat.
Derek doesn't want to see a bat. And Aaron and I
And you
talked
want
about
me
this.
to.
I love when we do an investigation where there's bats. And this is where I fail you as a friend. I want to spend more time where there's bats.
I'm surprised that you haven't taken some of those recordings of me shrieking at a bat and just saved it. I mean,
well, you hold all of the media on your private drives. I think that
I put them on our drive, but
Well, yeah, but I don't know how to access that because you're like the gatekeeper of all of that.
Keymaster.
But that's why that's one of the reasons where we always say that you'll be the first one to die in the horror movie, because your only fear is like
Bats.
a bat. The rest of the stuff you're going in head first.
Yes.
There's been so many times too where like I've like seen you, Dan, walk into a situation where you're like physically pushed back or you're scared, you step back from these things, and I've seen it. I've been right there.
And I'm a big dude. Like, it takes a lot to move me.
Yeah, and you've almost run me over on occasion, regardless.
That's the truth.
But like I see these things and it still doesn't seem to like hit for me, right? Like I still want to pursue these things. And I think there's like only been maybe 3 times that I've been like actually legitimately frightened to the point of like wanting to leave or get out of an area, and I just think that, again, seeing you get the dentist would almost knock your head off. You would think that I would take that a little bit more. Oh yeah, it was horrible. And
that was
I think
awful. We were in Moundsville, and Derek and I and Gabe, a good friend of ours that was investigating with us for a while, were walking down the hallway of the infirmary. It was like right when we got there.
Oh yeah,
like
it was the first thing we did.
Our guards weren't up yet, right?
No.
Like we were kind of like walking through the space thinking we're just going to get a feel for it. We were kind of bothered by all of the other people that were there, and like they had gone into another part of the jail.
We just wanted to split. We just wanted to go to like the least populated area. I mean, that was the whole goal at that point.
So Derek and I and Gabe were walking down this hallway, and there's all of these like rooms off to the sides where they would like do, like medical checkups and x-rays and different things. Well, I get to this one room and I'm in the front and I'm like holding the camera. And there's just something that made me want to go in one room versus any of the other ones. So I start like walking into this room, and as I stepped foot across the doorway into the room, they had these big metal arms that hung on the wall, like in a dentist's office where they like hold the light, that they shine on you while they're cleaning your teeth. Whatever was in this room, like smashed this metal arm up against the wall. And it just felt like this rush of air or pressure just got right up in my face, like right now. And it pushed that arm out of the way on its way to me. And it just like threw me backwards. Like it didn't actually grab onto me, but it was just that like get in your face moment where I just retreated immediately.
So it drew you into the room and then threw you back? That's crazy.
And then it just got like right up on me right now. And like my fight or flight triggered, and it was flight. Which if you've ever seen a manatee try to fly, this is what it looked like, because I just plopped backwards and scared the heck out of you guys. And I think we had the video that I was filming, and I think we also had a video that you or Gabe were filming where I fall backwards.
So the video that you were filming, at the time, we didn't have the best technology, so it was very dark, but you can hear the thing hit the wall, and then you like shriek. And the other camera view was a stationary camera we set in the hallway.
Okay, that's what
you could see me and Gabe in the hallway in front of it, and then you like being pushed out, almost running us over. I mean, those were the 2 views that we had of it, and it's intense. It was intense, and it really threw us off. I think that kind of like set the tone for the investigation that night. But that was one of those moments that like it sticks with you. You know, like you don't want it to happen again. You don't want to feel like that again. So it's there. I mean, I think for as many times as we say that I'm the one that's going to die in the horror movie first because I want to go after the evidence, Aaron, I don't think I've ever actually seen you get scared at any moment that we've been doing any of these things.
Well, that's because you guys don't look like you're scared, and so my face swollen. Half the time I'm sweating bullets because I'm terrified something's gonna. I don't even know. No,
like,
I've been.
You've got unsettled before.
I have.
But being physically scared, I don't think I've ever actually seen that.
No, I don't know that I've been like scared. Other than where were we? That there was the room that was downstairs that had something that was like creeping around. That both Dan and I didn't like that one little room down there. And of course,
was that Ross House too?
Walked right into it.
No, it wasn't.
No,
area,
was it the Irish Townsend? Down in the basement of the Irish
it was Irish Townsend. It was that block room in the back corner.
Yeah, and there was something really uncomfortable back there. And both Dan and I didn't like it. And Derek just walked in and hung out in there for some odd reason. Just, but I think that's probably the most uncomfortable, other than the thing that like rushed me when we were at Greene County and made me sick. Mm-hmm. But nothing that I've been scared of.
You are very suave, Aaron. When you are a little bit uncomfortable, your phrase is "nope." Right? You just go, "Nope, not going in there."
Nice and simple. Nope. You know where she.
And then your steps will get a little bit slower, and you'll just wait for us to go before you, and you'll go in eventually. But it's like you give it the chance to overtake one of us first. Right?
Everybody else file into this room.
Yeah. I sacrifice you guys first. Then
That's fine. That's fine.
At least we understand.
You guys walk in first, so you knew what was happening.
But it works. It works because if one of us are feeling something, we don't convince each other that there's something real. That there's something there, but it kind of like puts our other senses at alert so that it kind of like feeds the narrative, right? And sometimes I guess that could be a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it could, because then we create our own story out of it, basically, and we push certain things, or we go to an area where maybe there isn't anything there, and all of a sudden we're hearing things. So it's just that fine line that. It comes with experience, right?
But I also think, and I know we kind of touched on this a little bit off camera, but like, I also think that has to do with like the balance that we have as a group. Like if we were all going in with the same set of skills, we all went in as sensitives without having somebody who's a little more skeptical or whatever that looks like I feel like if you have too many people that are filling the same role, then those kind of situations can happen so much more. Where you have something that like maybe there's not something there and you just kind of inflate it because of these experiences that you have with the people around you. But I think that that's part of the trust that we have together is like, we know that whenever somebody's saying something, we're not hyperinflating it. We're not dismissing it. We're stating the facts that we're feeling. We're stating our feelings in the most like direct, uninflated way as possible. And because we all fill different roles, we're able to counterbalance that. Like whether that
I think that actually kind of leads right back to your point before about how you look towards us when you feel or sense something. Yeah. Because we all look for an additional sense or piece of evidence to further guide the narrative. We don't just say, I feel this over here. This is what's happening here. And that's it. That's not how we operate. You feel something, you hear something, we then continue to either debunk it as something that's just there, physical, or we pursue it in the spiritual sense and try to get more out of it to determine what it is. Mm-hmm. So I think that's exactly where you were going with it before, but you're right. I mean, and then we all bring something different to the table when it comes down to it.
And just because like one of us has something too, like there have been a couple times where like, Dan, you have felt something or been able to hone in on something in an area that I'm not feeling at all. And just because I'm not feeling it doesn't mean that I'm sitting here telling you like that's not real, because what you're feeling, right? Like there was I don't remember where it was with the little boy. Was that Irish Townsend as well? That you
Yes.
I think it was that you saw the little boy, and I couldn't hone in on him at all, but he really connected with you. And there have been a couple times where like we'll be in a space where I'm connecting with a female energy, you're connecting with a male energy. We're not discounting or discrediting what the other one's feeling. We're still supporting everybody in that way. And Derek, you're still supporting it, even if we're not all honing in on the same thing. Like it doesn't need to be that we walk into a place and we're like double checking each other that like, oh, you know, you're feeling this thing here and I'm feeling this thing here. So this is valid. Whereas Dan's feeling something here and Aaron's not. So what Darren's not feeling isn't valid, right? Like we're still validating that and supporting.
Those are the kind of scenarios too that we can build on even more versus areas where we feel nothing. Nobody feels a thing. There's nothing that you can do there. If everybody's feeling something different, we use that as a guide, right? And we pursue each of those kind of individually. It's like, all right, let's take a step back. Let's start with this one, and then we'll move on to this one and see who's actually wanting to communicate or confirm their presence with us.
100%.
And then we kind of like become equipment at that point, right? Because we've said that before, where we use our equipment to cast a net, right? Because even with 3 people, some of these locations are massive, right? And I'm super excited about the one coming up next month where we go back to Fairfield County Infirmary where we've been, Derek and I have been before, and Aaron, you haven't been obviously, but I'm super excited not only because there's 3 of us and it's a large space, but I'm super interested to see if you pick up on the same things because this location was the first place that I ever saw Derek like willingly admit that it is time to leave a room.
Yeah.
You know,
really?
And so for the uninitiated, there is a spot without going into too much detail for the sake of our investigation in a month and a half. There is a spot where I felt very uncomfortable in it and was telling Derek that I felt uncomfortable, but Derek wanted to continue. And, you know, I agreed to continue into that area. And we had things thrown at us from a nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say from nowhere.
And it happened 3 times, and the first time it happened, and Derek and I immediately went into like investigative mode to try to
where did this
out
come from? What is it?
What was going on? And then while we were looking for the thing that was thrown or fell or what have you, it did it a second time. And it almost hit us with the second one. They were like little chunks of plaster or pebbles or like,
which there was none of that in that room.
None of that falling from the ceiling or anything else. And then after the second time was whenever I asked the room, like, hey, or I just talked to the room and I was like, guys, like whoever's in here, we're not being disrespectful. We're just trying to talk to you. Really don't appreciate you doing this. If you don't want us in this room, do it again. And as soon as I said that, something
what happens?
Threw something at us a third time.
And I think that one hit right by our feet.
It hit right beside us. And then Derek, I looked at you and we both just, without saying anything, we just knew it was time to leave. You know, and I will say that I was very grateful of that because I was getting very uncomfortable in that room.
Yeah, and I know that you didn't want to pursue it.
I did not.
But I give you a lot of credit for fighting through that. Just to be there in that spot, because I know, and I mean, especially after what happened, how it feels, you know, to be really attacked.
It was poopy. Like it was a very uncomfortable feeling. Like,
and then when you can't see where something's coming from, like that just blows your mind. You know, how, you know, and we never got a why. There was no. We
didn't wait around to ask, right? But you best darn believe we will be back in that area in a month and a half.
Love that.
I was going to say, we'll just leave a trail camera there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we have other people going with us, so we'll just be like, here, you go.
You guys go there, right?
if something hits you with something, let us know. But no, we wouldn't. Of course, wouldn't do that.
No.
But
it is a huge space, though, and I feel like there's so much untapped potential there that we didn't even get to.
There's an entire outdoor burial area where they have buried people standing up because there were so many people that died there. They would not have the room to bury them laying down. And we never even got into that because that was like behind the building like up the hill and up into just into the woods, right?
Didn't they have to make a trail for it or something? And we never actually got a chance to go up there.
Yeah, like it's I think it was 34,000 square feet. Like it's a big building. And it's
4 floors, I think.
Four floors, just massive structure with like a morgue and there were so many cool places, right? There's like the morgue in the basement that still has like the underground stream that has like a whole lid. Yeah, you can hear it, and it's like a lid in the floor that you can pick up, like this little lid. That's where they would let the bodily fluids drain down into the creek, and then that would run down into the river.
But then if you think about it, that stream running underneath it, that ties right into all the, the running water creating more energy sort of thing. It's
amazing how it all ties together, isn't it?
Oh my God.
So it's like there's a morgue, right? Then there was the place where they would do the viewings whenever people would pass away. So they have like an old coffin there, so that's cool to be around. So you want to spend some time in that room, and then you want to go up to the second floor where there's an actual metal iron jail cell door blocking off this area where they would, whenever like prisoners, as they would call them in this infirmary, it was a poor farm, right?
Yeah, they also did bringing prisoners in there eventually, and then they paired them up with mentally unstable people, which paired up with children that were just left there. Like it was just a horrible combination.
Yeah. But the point is, like, there were so many cool places and there were only 2 of us, and
we couldn't spend a lot of time at any of them.
No,
we would, and neither of us wanted to split up. Like it was the vibe of this place was so like you stay together.
And even during our walkthrough, I remember things were happening in certain areas, and we're like, oh my God, we need to start like now, just during our walkthrough. And then some of those areas that we go back to, nothing then happens,
as it does.
Some of those spots, but yeah, I mean, I know for a fact things were happening as we were just doing our simple walkthrough. But even trying to capture just like each room individually is with 2 people is pretty much impossible.
Yeah. For one night. Yeah. There's no way.
Oh, it's way too much. And I think we have at least 2 more people going with us, possibly 4 more total.
Okay.
So we could have up to 7 people that could be, a really good way to cover some ground.
But we are going to have, we're going to have to kind of have like a team huddle and be like, you guys are going to have to go here. Yeah. And we're going to go this way because we want to stick together. Sure, we'll do some stuff together, but we need to cover the ground, we're going to need to have kind of a plan in place here because it's huge.
Yeah. And we got to also use the newbies as bait. Like we could be like, hey, we want to go in there, but you're going to go in first. See what you guys get. We're going to go over here where the scarier thing is, but you let us know, and then we'll reconvene.
Go sit on that autopsy table for us, and just maybe in that coffin we'll close the lid on you. I mean,
that's an idea. That would stir stuff up if we would like mimic the dead.
No,
so you guys Aaron's not going to.
Nope.
Aaron's a no in the coffin. Okay, make note of that. Great.
Well, you already know the nope is coming.
That's right. So, what's the opinions on like how fear can spread through a group? Do we think that's a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing. And it can happen quickly and easily. Where I think back to the church that we were at in Winburn, that we got those knocks, and we were both so frightened at that time where we let that kind of run and control that scenario for us. But granted, there were only 2 of us, so you didn't have anybody else to kind of back you up and calm you down, right? So when there's 2 of you, that fear spreads so much quicker because then there's no buffer, right? There's nobody to...
Excuse you, I would like you to find somebody that is tough enough to approach something that is violently shaking the doors when you're wearing your underpants.
I don't think anybody could. I'm just saying,
And you're about to get
person.
you're about to get into your sleeping bag and enjoy a nice little sleep, and then all of a sudden something starts terrorizing the front entrance. I would like to see you go down there, sir.
I didn't.
I don't buy it.
I'm not saying I would.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what happened. And there were only two of us. And we were both like, all right, we got to figure out what this was, but I don't want to get too close to this spot. So
we had just plugged our cell phones in to charge, and we were going to go to sleep. And
we're like wrapping it up, and it's like, oh crap, we have another 2 hours in front of us now. What do we do?
God, it was awful.
I do think that the fear can spread in a group, and then it can influence the rest of the investigation.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, though. I mean, we really hone in on being able to tap into our instincts and use our intuition. And if we have something that's initiating fear and it spreads to our entire group, that's something that we need to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. Like if it's something that one of us is fearful of and everyone else were able to justify it, figure it out, whatever. But if it has spread to all three of us, or if we have a larger group and it's spread to all, like, that's where, in my mind, our self-preservation has kicked in, and there's something that we need to address or step away from or whatever that is.
See, right? I agree with that. That's where I stand on the whole thing is, if we get general consensus that we shouldn't be there,
this is a bad area.
And that's what we do, right? Like
it is.
When we need to pull out of an area, it is because we have all decided the time has come and this space or this entity needs some space. And we pull it. Now, I agree with you, Derek, that like if it's just two of you, like there's not that third or multiple to balance it out, and it can very quickly become just like you're feeding off of each other, and it may not be it's not as valid, but it's harder to keep that under control. Whereas if there's a larger group, or you know what I mean, and that spreads, then that's just maybe something a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more of along the lines of like influencing moving forward. You know, where you might feel it in this one area, but you move on and it's not necessarily the same feeling in this area, but you still feel it. You're still in that fight or flight mode, and that carries along to the next room where maybe there's nothing negative there. You know, so I'm seeing it in that sense, but everything you're saying makes perfect sense too.
That's true. Although I would say when we're in an investigation and we are in a place, maybe not that fear has set in, but that there's some discomfort or we're feeling drained or whatever, we're all very quick to say, hey, like, I need to take a break. Let's take a step back. And whether it's just like pulling back to wherever our stuff is set up that we have set as a safe space, that we're going to go there, we're going to disengage from this a little bit. We're going to grab a slice of pizza. We're going to have a drink. We're going to, BS for a minute. And then when we're all mentally ready, we're ready to jump back in. I feel like we very, very rarely go from an area where we're feeling significant discomfort, and be like, okay, let's carry
continue.
This into the next place, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
If there's something that needs a break or we need to reset, we are all like, whether it's me saying to you, Derek, like, hey, I think I need to go take a break. Like, you know what I mean? And we normally,
it doesn't have to be all of us. It could just be one of us. And
it could just be one of us. But generally, like when we get to an end of an area, we're like, okay, let's wrap up this area. Most of the time,
we all know
all three of us or the whole group of us will just like move out,
Which I think actually prevents, the fear from spreading. Although, to be honest, there's not many occasions I can recall that are fearful.
Right.
Unsettling. Maybe, unsettling, definitely. Uncomfortable, like you were saying, 100%. And that's when we kind of pull back. So maybe we just don't let it get to that point.
Well, I think that there's a fine line between unsettling and fearful, right? Because to me, when I feel like I'm losing control and I'm, for lack of a better term, just unsettled in a situation, I'm not comfortable, that's fear to me. Right. When I feel that I don't have full control over my own well-being or, my own sanity, so to speak. I've never felt like I was losing my mind, but you know what I mean? Like I think that to me is paramount.
Sure.
And that's why I say it. For me, at least, it's a fine line between unsettled and fearful, because I think for me they go hand in hand.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, makes sense.
Like this is like the episode of like the more you know, right? Like because I think we know all of this about each other, but it's sometimes it helps to just say it out loud,
Yeah.
you know?
Usually read one another, you know, even if it's
Yeah.
just something as simple as like, Dan, you stop talking during an investigation when you usually lead, or Aaron, when you stop, you know, opening yourself up and you're like, I gotta be out of here, or you nope it out, as it were. Like, you just know there's certain signs where it's like, all right, we do need a break, we do need to take a pause and move on.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I hate to say it once again. We are at the witching hour. We are officially out of time. Any parting words of wisdom?
I think the only thing that crosses my mind after all this kind of talk is I wouldn't ever want to do this without a team. You know, there have been occasions where everybody backs out and I'm like, I'm alone. I'm like, what do? Do I still go?
No.
You know, it's happened a few times, but I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not going to do that. And even if I did, it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't be the same balance. You know,
Attaboy.
that's the kind of thing that comes to my mind.
Attaboy. I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much. In the dark, it's easy to focus on what might be out there, but sometimes the most important thing is for an investigation, what we're chasing, but who you're standing next to. Because when things get uncertain, when your senses start playing tricks on you, your teams become your reality check, your grounding force, your way back. Until next time, cross the bridge together and make sure everyone comes back from the other side. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. Toodles noodles.
Thank you.
See you guys.